We talk about how words have a semantic range, that they have a range of meanings, and you have to look at the context to decide the specific meaning of a word in a specific context. I came across a great example of that in Mark 9 with the translation of the word logos. So Jesus has just had the transfiguration. He's coming down from the mountain, and he orders the disciples not to tell anyone what they had seen until the Son of Man should rise from the dead. So in verse 10, it says, so they kept this saying, which is a translation of logos here, to themselves, questioning what the rising of the dead could mean. Now here's the interesting question. What is verse 10 talking about? Is it talking about not telling people about the transfiguration, or are they keeping to themselves what he actually said about rising from the dead? Well, the interesting thing is that in the translation of logos, it's pretty broad. It can mean a lot of different things. And so it's interesting to see what the different translations do with it. NASB, they seized upon that statement. ESV, they kept the matter to themselves. CSB, they kept this word to themselves, which is pretty much a nonsensical translation because there's no single word. It was a series of words, or it was the event. NRSV, they kept the matter. The Net Bible, they kept this statement to themselves. The NLT, so they kept it to themselves. They left it the indefinite it. But they often asked each other what he meant by rising from the dead. So you can see the problem is there's an event that happened, and there was a saying that Jesus uttered. And he says, don't tell people about what you just saw. And so verse 10 is the follow-up. And they said they kept this. Well, what did they keep to themselves? Did they keep the matter of the transfiguration to themselves? Or is it specifically about the actual sentence, we can't tell anyone about Jesus rising from the dead? Which, of course, would make a lot of sense because he says that elsewhere in public. So the issue here certainly has to be that they are not supposed to tell people about the transfiguration. And the question that they were muttering about was, what do you mean rise from the dead? Now, all of this is wrapped up in the semantic range of the word logos. So the most basic meaning, and most common, I should say, translation of the word logos is a communication whereby the mind finds expression. Okay, in other words, word. And I'm going to go down these subdivisions. Alpha is a word. Beta, what you say, in other words, a statement. Gamma, a declaration or a speech. And you get down to epsilon, and you get the subject under discussion, matter or thing, and that's where BDAG puts Mark 9:10. Now, logos actually has more meanings. You can go number 2 to computation or reckoning, or 3, the idea of God as the logos. So you can see the trouble, can't you? That logos has a wide enough range of meaning that it can refer to an individual word or a series of words or to a speech or to the thing represented, the matter, in other words. But it seems to me in this passage that the NIV and some of these other translations did get it right, that what they kept to themselves was the matter of the transfiguration, although they were questioning about this one particular saying.